Let me ask you something real quick. You ever got paid? And somehow, 2 weeks later, you're back to zero. Like, where did it even go? You didn't buy anything crazy. You weren't living lavish. But the money? Gone. That's not a budgeting problem. That's not an income problem. That is a psychology problem. And today, we're going deep on it. Because once you understand how your brain actually handles money, everything changes. I'm talking about the hidden mental traps that keep average people broke, and the exact mindset shifts that separates people who build wealth from people who just talk about it. Let's get into it. Alright, so here's the thing. Most finance content won't tell you. Making money isn't the hard part. Keeping it is. And the reason most people can't keep it, it's not laziness. It's not bad luck. It's literally how your brain is wired. See, your brain was built for survival, not for saving. Back in the day, if you had food, you ate the food. You didn't save it for next month. You didn't invest it. You consumed it immediately because tomorrow wasn't guaranteed. Fast forward to 2024. That same survival brain is now making decisions about your 401k. And it's terrible at it. There's a name for this. Psychologists call it present bias. And it's the reason you'd rather have $50 today than $200 in 6 months. It makes zero logical sense. But emotionally, that $50 right now hits different. And brands, corporations, credit card companies, they know this. They've spent billions of dollars studying your brain. And they've built entire systems designed to exploit exactly that instinct. Buy now, pay later. That's not convenience. That's a weapon aimed directly at your present bias. So let's break down the actual psychology of making money. There are 3 mental frameworks that quietly control your entire financial life. And most people have never heard of any of them. Number 1, the scarcity mindset. Researchers at Princeton did a study where they took 2 groups of people. One group was financially comfortable. The other was under financial stress. They gave both groups the exact same cognitive test. The people under financial stress scored significantly lower, not because they were less intelligent, but because financial stress literally consumes mental bandwidth. Your brain is using so much energy worrying about money that there's less left for actual thinking. They called it the bandwidth tax, and it's brutal. The crazy part? This creates a loop. Stress leads to bad decisions, leads to more stress, leads to worse decisions. Over and over. That's why it's so hard to think your way out of financial struggle when you're already in it. The very tool you need, your brain, is running at half capacity. So what breaks the loop? Stability. Even small wins. Even $500 in a savings account changes how your brain operates. Not because $500 makes you rich, but because it signals safety. And a calm brain makes way better decisions. Number 2, the identity trap. Here's one most people sleep on. The way you make money is directly tied to how you see yourself. If deep down you believe I'm not a money person, you will subconsciously self-sabotage every opportunity that challenges that belief. You'll undercharge. You'll avoid negotiating. You'll feel guilty for wanting more. You'll call it humility. But it's not humility. It's an identity conflict. There's a psychological principle called cognitive dissonance. Your brain will always act in ways that are consistent with your self-image, even if that self-image is hurting you. So if your identity is, I'm a struggling artist, or money isn't spiritual, or rich people are greedy, your brain will protect that story, even at the cost of your financial future. The flip side, when people genuinely shift their identity, when they start seeing themselves as someone who builds wealth, their behavior changes automatically. They negotiate differently. They take different opportunities. They hold themselves to different standards. This is why mindset isn't just motivational fluff. It is literally the operating system running your financial behavior. Number 3, Lifestyle creep. Okay, so this one is sneaky. Like really sneaky. Lifestyle creep is when your spending rises every time your income rises. So your net worth barely moves, even as you earn more. You get a raise. Cool. But now you've got a nicer apartment, nicer car, more subscriptions, better restaurants, more vacations. Each thing individually feels totally reasonable. But collectively, you've just built a more expensive version of broke. The psychological mechanism behind this is called hedonic adaptation. Your brain gets used to pleasure incredibly fast. That new car that felt amazing in week 1? By month 3, it's just a car. But the payment? That's real every single month. And so you need more to feel the same. More stuff, more experiences, more upgrades. It never ends. The people who build real wealth, they weaponize this against itself. They deliberately delay upgrading their lifestyle, and they funnel the gap between what they earn and what they could spend directly into assets. It's not about being cheap. It's about being intentional. There's a massive difference. Real quick, if this is hitting different for you right now, that means you're already ahead of most people. This is exactly the kind of stuff I break down every week on this channel. Money isn't just math, it's psychology. And if you're not subscribed yet, you're genuinely leaving value on the table. All right, let's keep going. Because we haven't even gotten to the most powerful part yet, let me tell you about 2 people. We'll call them Marcus and Devin. Marcus and Devin grew up in the same neighborhood, went to the same school, graduated the same year. First jobs, similar salaries. Marcus sees his first real paycheck and immediately upgrades his lifestyle. New sneakers, new phone, nicer apartment. He figures, I earned it. I deserve it. And honestly, he does. But he's spending from emotion, not strategy. Devin does something different. Devin takes that first paycheck and immediately sets up an automatic transfer. 20% straight to a brokerage account before he can even see it. He drives the same car, lives in the same apartment. For 2 full years, Devin lives like he got a raise, because in his mind, he hasn't yet. Fast forward 5 years. Marcus has a nice lifestyle, good Instagram, but close to zero in savings and growing anxiety every time an unexpected expense hits. Devin? Devin's portfolio has been quietly compounding. He's building. And because he delayed upgrading his lifestyle, the upgrades he eventually does make feel genuinely earned, not desperate. Same starting point, completely different outcomes. One psychological difference. Now here's another real pattern you've probably seen, maybe even lived. Lottery winners. Studies show that roughly 70% of lottery winners end up broke within a few years of their windfall. How? How do you win millions and end up broke? Because the money changed, but the psychology didn't. No financial education, no identity shift, no framework for managing abundance, just a spending acceleration that eventually hits zero. And this isn't about judging lottery winners. It's proof that money alone doesn't fix a money problem. The mindset has to come first. So what do wealthy people actually think differently about? Here are the core mental models that separate builders from spenders. 1. They think in assets, not expenses. Every dollar is evaluated by the question, does this make me more, or does this make someone else more? A car payment makes the dealership more. An index fund makes you more. This single filter changes everything. 2. They are comfortable with delayed gratification, not because they're disciplined robots, but because they can see the future reward clearly. The research on this is wild. When people can vividly imagine their future self, like literally picture themselves at 60, they make dramatically better long-term financial decisions. Their future self doesn't feel like a stranger anymore. It feels like them. So one practical hack: Write a letter to your 60-year-old self. Sounds corny? Psychologically, it works. 3. They divorce emotion from financial decisions. This doesn't mean they don't have emotions. It means they've built systems, so emotions don't drive decisions. Automatic investing, spending rules, clear financial goals written down. Because when you're excited, you overspend. When you're scared, you sell. Systems remove the human error from the equation. 4. They reframe money itself. Most people are taught, explicitly or implicitly, that wanting money is greedy, that rich people are corrupt, that money changes people for the worse, and so they unconsciously push it away. The reframe: money is a tool. Neutral. It amplifies who you already are. A generous person with money becomes more generous. A selfish person with money becomes more selfish. The money didn't do that. The person did. When you stop seeing money as dangerous or dirty, you stop self-sabotaging your path to it. All right, let's make this actionable. Because all the psychology in the world means nothing if you don't do something different tomorrow. Here's your framework. Step 1. Audit your money identity. Literally write down every belief you have about money. Money is hard to make. I'm bad with numbers. Rich people are selfish. Then ask, where did this belief come from? Is it actually true? Or is it just a story you inherited? Step 2. Create a $1,000 psychological safety net. Not for investing. Not for spending. Just $1,000 sitting there. Research shows even a small emergency fund dramatically reduces financial stress, which, as we said, frees up mental bandwidth for better decisions. Step 3. Automate before you can feel it. Set up automatic transfers on payday, before the money hits your spending account. Because if you see it, your present bias brain will find a use for it. Remove the decision entirely. Step 4. Delay one lifestyle upgrade. Just one. You know the thing you're about to spend on. Wait 30 days. Invest the difference. See how it feels. Then do it again. Step 5. Feed your financial identity. Read, watch, listen. Surround yourself with people and content that normalizes building wealth. Your identity will follow your inputs. This is not an accident, it's a strategy. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Your bank account right now is a reflection of your beliefs, not your effort, not your intelligence, your beliefs. And beliefs can be changed. That's the most powerful thing I can tell you. The people building generational wealth aren't superhuman. They don't have a secret code. They just learned to think about money differently. And then they acted like that version of themselves until it became real. The question isn't whether you can build wealth. The question is, what story are you still holding on to that says you can't? Drop that story. Build the new one. And if you want to keep building it, every week I break down exactly these kinds of concepts. The psychology, the strategy. The stuff schools never taught you. Subscribe, and let's get smarter with money together. Real talk, one video could change how you think about this forever.